Awards. This event is hosted by Public Media Network, and I will be your MC for the night, John Carroll. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. Come on. We got a lot of great awards to give away tonight, ranging from Michigan, Indiana, all the way to Kentucky and Massachusetts. So let's get this started. Let's see. Yeah. It's a pretty grand entrance, am I right? Yeah? You're
doing great.
I probably should have rented that helicopter like I said I would. But yes, first, the wonderful award, Arts and Cultural Awareness Award. And the winners are, for the professional category, Shakespeare Strip Bare by Chuck Bentley of PMN in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and the non-professional Community Connection number 118, HOMTV in Okemos, Michigan.
When the sword bites with its blade, dear, then you call him, what do you call him, huh? What do you call him?
All right, so we got some...
Macbeth. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, or those of you pretending to be. Well done, by the way. Welcome to the Fallen Angel. A place where anything can happen and usually does.
All right, so let's see. We'll start with Shakespeare Strip Bare. What was it like producing that piece?
Well, we produced it right in this very room. I wrote it as a play, and then, of course, we recorded it on video for cable access, Public Media Network. And what I wanted to do was trick people into watching Shakespeare. Nothing gives me more pleasure than to have some stranger stop me on the street and say, Chuck, I saw your program on TV last night. I watched it for 10 minutes before I realized that it was Shakespeare. So my plan is to help make Shakespeare more accessible to the general public. What they usually don't tell me, and I don't want to know, is after that 10 minutes and they realize it's Shakespeare, whether they've switched channels or not.
That's excellent. Good education to the people.
Right.
And for Community Connection number 118, how did you come up with that, the Community Connection?
Well, that show is basically finding unique people in the community doing telling their unique stories. And we try to do 5 to 6 stories per show. And it's a longer format show, so it takes us a couple months to put it together because we want 5-minute pieces for each person telling their unique story.
That sounds great. And would you guys like to thank anybody right now for the general audience?
Well, I would like to thank all of the interns and our reporters, our producers who actually did the stories and shot and edited, because it is the non-professional category and they did an excellent job.
And for Shakespeare?
The community, what is it, the Alliance of Community Access Televisions, whatever we are, whatever we call ourselves, Public Media Network, for giving us this opportunity to go into people's living rooms. They don't have to pay money to see us. They don't have to get out of the house and pay a babysitter. We can come into their homes, and I think our opportunity to do that for an independent filmmaker as I am is a very valuable thing to have. Yeah.
That sounds wonderful, and everybody give him a hand. Now up next we have the children's programming category, and the winners are, for the professional subcategory, the 2013 Children's Summer Reading Program by BCATS in Bloomington, Indiana, the non-professional category for the dance in Access Fort Wayne, Indiana, and for the student category, Bullying Stops Here. The Ripple Starts Now by BTV in Bloomington, Indiana.
The program offers 4 ways to earn points for prizes. The first way to earn a point is by reading books. Write the name of your book in the guide and color in a point. The second way to earn points is by answering the computer question. Visit our website where you will find a new trivia question each week. Write the answer in your guide and color in a point. The third way to earn points is decoding the weekly challenge.
Wow, hieroglyphics. This is so... Wait for me.
So we got For the Children's Dance. What was it like producing this program?
Well, this program was something that a producer who wasn't able to come today did. They're trying to reach out to kids in Fort Wayne, Indiana and Allen County who may be in neglected or abused homes. The track, which is the sponsoring organization, is Three Rivers Arts Community for Kids, and it's just reaching out to kids and giving kids a place where they can go and explore their arts and creativity and have a wholesome and positive environment to go and grow.
That's wonderful. Did you have any speed bumps producing this piece?
We had to redesign our studio slightly. They had some dancers come onto the show, and we had to make sure that the floor was safe for the dancers that were barefoot, and it took a lot of hours of practicing for the dancers and a lot of effort on the producers and the guests' parts.
That's excellent. And right now, would you like to thank anybody for
I guess I want to thank the producers and volunteers at Access Fort Wayne, and I want to thank all the members of the Alliance for Community Media. This is an amazing organization, an amazing group and alliance, and everything that we do helps improve our communities.
Sounds wonderful. Give her a hand. Up next, we have the awards for the community events. For the subcategory of professional, we have March of Dimes, Jail and Bail by Senyik, Kovac, Orel, Schuler, Shea, Staffhorst, Wendt, and Yielding from CPHS in Port Huron.
Not just in our community, but around the world. Port Huron is a March of Dimes.
We also have the non-professional category, Festifools and Foolsmon in Ann Arbor, Michigan. April 2013 by Dave Chappelle and CTN Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Jail and Bail. Hey everybody, and welcome to the 2013 March of Dimes Jail and Bail, live from the Sonic Center in Port Huron. Listen to the crowd, my goodness. Hey, we're going to have a lot of fun here today. We're going to be here till...
That's great. That was Jail and Bail. And for that piece, I saw you right up there hosting. How did you come up with it?
Well, the March of Dimes Jail and Bail started as a radio radiothon back in the 50s, and they actually did it at the jail in St. Clair County. And then later, with the introduction of cable and public access, we have a cable station with the Port Huron Area School District, and we were able to go in and tape the show. It's still on the radio. But we actually tape the show, but we also shoot it live through Comcast, and it's their yearly fundraiser, and it's a very successful one.
That sounds excellent. Really great fundraiser. And for Festifools and Foolsmon, what were some of the members of your team, and how did they help with the production?
Yeah, I'm actually here on behalf of Dave Chappell. He is one of our community access volunteers who couldn't make it, and he's been with CTN of Ann Arbor for, oh my gosh, 15 plus years. And I'm so glad he won this award because he actually goes and covers a wide variety of community events, volunteering all of his time. This is just one of them that's really hit the community within the last 3 years, and it's blown up. Full Moon is a Friday night event where people actually make lanterns and showcase them and march around the streets. And Festifools is a Sunday, and it's a mini parade with huge marionette puppets, and the community really takes to it, and Dave captured it so well. As you can see, children, parents, everyone comes out and really supports this event, and Dave is a great editor, a great producer. We're so happy that he's able to create this video and then obviously win awards.
It sounds like two great events that both benefit the community in great ways. And would you two like to thank anybody?
Yeah, just everybody at the Port Huron Area School District, our superintendent who supports us, and our boss, Ed Senyik, who's really the man in charge who couldn't be here today, and for you guys for putting on this event. Thanks to the judges, too, for taking the time out. I know that's when they're busy, it's a lot of work.
I just want to thank Dave Chappell and all of our volunteers because they really make CTN what it is.
Sounds great. Now, up next, we have the award for Best Documentary, Public Arts. For the professional subcategory, we have Village Players 90th, and that is represented by Steve Roda, Matt Winnie, and Sally Sauvé in Bloomfield Community Television, Michigan. And for non-professional subcategory, we have Eddie and Decatur, Mike Salerno, Access Vision, Battle Creek, Michigan. And also for the student subcategory, we have Speech and Debate End of the Season by Mina Hoffman with WCTV Wadsworth, Ohio.
It was The Women by Claire Booth Luce. I brought the original.
So Mike, tell us a little bit about your production.
I had a great time doing that. I love history. I love especially local history and show business. And this was a combination of both.
Sounds great. Who are some of the people involved in your production?
A lot of actors from the Kalamazoo Civic Theater and the Paw Paw Village Players, who are putting on To Kill a Mockingbird, by the way, in a few weeks here. And then Mickey Rooney. I had the privilege of having Mickey Rooney involved.
What was it like working with Mickey Rooney?
Even if he wasn't a celebrity, I would just love him. He's just filled with energy and very inspirational.
And how long did it take to get Village Players, the 90th production, off the ground?
Village Players? Well, it's not
production.
Okay. Well, I worked probably about 3 years of filming, on and off, and then editing took about a year. But I loved every minute of it, and wouldn't have been able to do it had it not been for Access Vision and a Public Media Network. I just would not have had the resources available. I don't think I would have thought to go to the store and buy a camera and editing equipment. So
that's great. Public media is a great tool for the community. And would you like to thank anybody right now?
I'd like to thank Access Vision, Public Media Network, and all the actors from the Kalamazoo Civic Theater and Paw Paw Village Players.
That's great. Up next, we have the award for the Empowerment and Inspirational category. For the subcategory of Professional, we have Around Town by Jim McElroy, Heart Transplant, the Mentor Channel in Ohio. For the non-professional subcategory, we have Special Feature number 236, Life as a Zebra, and Home TV in Okemos, Michigan. And for the student subcategory, we have Someone to Remember, Community Access Television Services in Bloomington, Indiana.
From what my wife and son say, told me that I was starting to turn gray. I was checking out.
Jim had been having heart trouble since he was 30 years old. Over the years, he had heart attacks.
So Deborah, tell us a little bit about your production.
Well, Life as a Zebra was produced by our sports reporter / intern, Max Uter. And he did sports highlight shows called All Access, and he came to me, wanted to do a special feature on a gymnast who was an Olympic hopeful, and she came down with a disease that didn't allow her to perform in the Olympics anymore. And so he really wanted to do a special feature on this, so all the credit goes to him and all the hard work that he did.
Sounds great. Besides him, who else worked on this piece?
A guy named Phil, and he actually works at one of our local news stations now. And so Max is in Chicago, and Phil is in Lansing doing news photography and stuff. And so they've both left us, unfortunately, but they've moved on to do other great things.
Besides the emotional the emotional hard parts of the piece. What were some of the other parts of production that were a little harder to take on?
I think for Max, it was really hard for him to produce this piece because he was an intern for us at the time he was doing it, but he also had received a job at the local news station. And the local news station caught wind of the piece that he was producing, and they wanted to air it first before he could air it. And so I had to step in for him and call the news director at the local news station because they tried to steal his piece off of YouTube and air it on their morning show. And so I had to call them and say, hey, you guys know that we're all like courtesy and stuff like that, and just have like a really frank conversation about it. So I think, for Max, it was, he put his heart and soul into it, and he really wanted it to be aired on the channel and not have a news station kind of pick it up and air it first before him. So it was important for him, for me to go to bat for him. So I think that was probably one of the hardest aspects that he found in producing the piece.
I see. And would you like to thank anybody for yourself or for Max himself?
Thank him. He did a phenomenal job.
Everybody give her a hand.
Thanks.
Give a hand for Max, too. Up next, we have the award for Best in Entertainment Pieces. For the professional subcategory, we have the 2012 Lotus World Music Festival, Fotumata Diawara, Community Access Television Services in Bloomington, Indiana. For the non-professional subcategory, we have 10 Things You Should Do, that Aditi Thati, Felix Goldman, Bridget Carey, Alex James, Sam Merlin, Bennett Sham, and that's for MedfieldTV.tv in Massachusetts. And for the student subcategory, we have The Christmas Thief, and that's by Bachelor Middle School, BTV, Arrow Bosley, Liam Murphy, and that's for Community Access Television Services in Bloomington, Indiana.
Take a seat. So Alex, tell me some of your strengths.
I'm really good with children. I'm very patient. I'm very focused in the class.
Up next, we have the category of Government Compilation. And the winner for the professional subcategory is Overall WLND, and that's in Westland, Michigan.
Growing demographic in the country is that of seniors.
Up next, we have the award for Best Government Meeting Production, and that award goes to Fort Wayne City Council Meeting from Access Fort Wayne.
The common construction wage scales are established by committee, and Indiana has 92 counties. In Allen County, by our count, has at least 20 known common wage committees. So the common wage really
All right, so government production, government meetings, they can go either way. They can be very great. They can be produced very greatly or very poorly. As obvious by this award, your production is very great. Do you have anything that sets your production above all else?
Well, I guess it's the efforts by the City Council in Fort Wayne and Access Fort Wayne. This is a collaborative effort between both entities. It's one of the most popular programs that we have on any of our channels. It helps with the transparency. The episode that won was a big event inside of Fort Wayne. It was right after a massive storm that had hit and caused a lot of damage, and there was a big rebuild effort that involved crews from all over the entire region to come down and help get our electrical infrastructure back into place. And so it really was a testament to not just Fort Wayne, but the entire region pulling together and helping us after a little bit of a natural disaster hit the city.
Sounds great. It's nice to see people respond so quickly with the region. Would you like to give any names or give any shout outs to the people on the production teams that helps with covering this?
Oh, absolutely. The director of the program is Pat Stelty. He's our government access coordinator. He was also got some assistance from a Marcella Zapari and an Otto Bachette, and they work together really well, and they do just a top-rate job with all of the government programs that they create for Access Fort Wayne.
Sounds wonderful. And I'm going to give her a hand. Up next, we have the category for Best Instructional Production. And for the subcategory of Professional, we have Turkey Fryer PSA from Westchester Community Television in Westchester, Ohio. For the non-professional category, we have 25 by 25, number 4, from Home TV in Okemos, Michigan. And for the student subcategory, we have K through 12, Kyle's Kitchen, Quiche Lorraine, Broadcast Arts 1 and 2, and that is from Alliance, Ohio.
Most incidents occur while the oil is being heated prior to adding the turkey. For this reason, it is very important to monitor the temperature of the oil closely.
So for the Turkey Fryer PSA, what would be the...
It's neither of ours.
Neither? Okay. For the... Thank you. For the 25 by 25, what was it like producing that piece? What would you give the big takeaway for that?
It was great. It was a 9-show series that I owe a lot to Andrea Mantakunis. It was her idea. She hosted it, and it was 25 things she wanted to do before she turned 25. And we did them all, and it was a lot of fun, and we both learned a lot. I got better with camera work and editing, and she learned some new skills. So
that's great. And what would you say would be the hardest of the 25 to film?
To film, let's see. We did glass blowing, and that was a little hard because obviously you can't get very close to the kiln. And then I'm trying to think. It's hard to think about what we've all done. There were 25 things. We did do zip lining, which was fun, but we took her iPhone and taped it to her body, and so we have a picture like of her spinning like that with the iPhone. That was fun. So that was, yeah.
That's cool.
It was challenging.
Yeah. And for Kyle's Kitchen, what would be what sets apart the cooking program from other cooking programs around?
Well, I think just because it's a local program that we started about 6 years ago because I love to cook and I love to eat, and I knew the students would love to eat too. And it was a good way for us to use our Sony Anycast, which we didn't get to use all that often because we have a studio, and we didn't get to use it often. Kids to learn how to set it up in our food lab. So anyway, we started this program, and the kids loved it. But it's also not just instructional. We do have some real chefs that come on, but we have just hometown people that come on and cook. But what's interesting is to have the kids learn about manners and setting up a table and all that stuff, in addition to learning technical skills. So
that sounds interesting. And how the parents of the children have reacted to the production of this program?
A lot of the parents come on. It's our most popular program. So
that's excellent. And now, would either of you two like to thank anybody?
I have to thank Andrea Mantakunis. Like I said, it was her show. Her and I were in partnership with it. Also, Deb Guthrie, our executive producer, who allowed us to go on that journey, and everybody else who let us come and walk in their shoes for a day.
Just all the students that help produce the show every week. It's a weekly show. And also my two assistants, because I couldn't do it without them, Abby Rogers and Zach Nochera, who helped me. Because it's fun working with 15-year-olds, but you need some help.
That's very true. Give them a hand. Up next, we have the award for Best Interview Talk Show. And for the professional subcategory, we have a tie. The first tie goes to the arts scene by Karen Kelsey, the Omni Center in Carmel, Indiana. And the other tie goes to The Buzz, WLND, and that goes to Dave Monak and Craig Welkenbach in Westland, Michigan.
It's just absolutely beautiful this time of the year. And when you don't have to worry about the vehicles going by, it just makes it much nicer. So.
Oh, I'm sure. So another great amenity to really take advantage of the parks in Westland. So it's something that you can do on a Saturday with your entire family. One of the hot spots.
And now we have a word from our sponsor.
Sponsor? Oh, that's me. Okay. Yes. Hi, I'm Norm Compton, and I'm the Philo chair this year. And a lot of people, why do we have this? Obviously, each of us, centers out there, producers, make lots of programs. And sometimes as far as it plays on the channel once, twice, if you're lucky, more than that. Obviously, a lot of things get posted up on YouTube, but really, this is a chance for our region to get together and to recognize all the wonderful programs that are produced at all these different centers. I've been around, well, I was described earlier as a dinosaur because I've been around for a long time. This is the 4th time I have been the producer of the Philo Awards. Yeah, you might think as far as he's crazy as a dinosaur, okay? But anyways, as far as, I want to thank all the people that were helping our judging. Well over 100 people have been involved in the video competition at this stage. Obviously, our entries this year, we had 214 entries. Our video files were up on the internet so that all could see them there in regard to as far as at a PEG Central site. And I specifically want to say thank you to all the people at Access Fort Wayne because this is not just a one-person program as far as it takes a lot of people that have helped me out and supported things that way. So this is wonderful that we get a chance to see other programs that's going on in other centers. I encourage everybody to get involved in the process here. Just judging a category really opens your eyes to say, oh my God, I didn't realize that they did that just down the road at that other access center. So it's a wonderful opportunity there.
Sounds great. Thank you very much, Norm. For the next category, we have Best Magazine Program. And the winners for that are, for the professional subcategory, Beyond the Badge for Home TV in Okemos, Michigan. And for the non-professional, we have special feature number 227, and that's Home TV in Okemos, Michigan. All right, for Beyond the Badge, what was it like producing this piece?
Actually, can I say something?
Go right ahead.
Like, okay, so this is a program series that's been going on for a long time that we've had at our channel. And that open that we had for Beyond the Badge was created by Rob Gingrich, our senior producer at Home TV. And he won a first place national award for that open animation for Natoa, and I just went there and accepted the award on his behalf. So a lot of credit for that Police and Fire show really goes to the entire staff at Home TV, and the little thing that you saw right there, I guess it's not so little when you got to use motion and all that, but since I don't use that, I don't really know how much goes into it, but I know he spent a lot of time on it.
That's great. And how about Pause? How about that program?
Well, with how many interns that we have go through our program, and we have many reporters, and sometimes they have a passion about something that they want to do a whole program on. And we had a producer actually who also did some reporting, Lauren Reagan. She is an animal lover, and I myself am one as well, so I helped her with that program. She she did most of the stories, and then the other student interns, reporters, did some other stories in the hosting and the post-producing. So I want to give a little shout out to Lauren, because it was her passion that she brought forward to do a show for the animals. And yeah, I mean, I thought they did an amazing job.
It's great. It's definitely nice to have animals represented in public media. And would either of you two like to give main shout outs?
I give a shout out to Lauren. I mean, she's now a news producer in
Traverse City.
In Traverse City. So
yes.
So she's moved on, and that show helped her get there.
That's excellent. And Lauren?
All right. Once again, to the staff and interns of Home TV, we owe it all the talent that we have to the programs that we produce.
Yeah, we don't have any.
I mean, we have talent too,
all.
but yeah.
Thank you very much. Everybody give them a hand. And now for the next category, we have Best Music Video. And the professional subcategory goes to The Holidays in Westchester 2012, and that is in Westchester Township Integrated Multimedia and Marketing in Westchester, Ohio. And for the next category, we have Best News Program. And the professional category goes to Meridian Magazine, number 1068. And that's Home TV in Okemos, Michigan. And for the student subcategory, we have K-12 CCMS Newscast. And that's Campbell County Media Central in Highland Heights, Kentucky.
Hearing surrounding an Okemos High School grad and the death of an MSU student takes center stage. Hello and welcome to Meridian Magazine. I'm Brina Hansen.
And I'm Savannah Ciabatta.
And now, what's it like to host Meridian Magazine?
Well, like I said previously, I gave a lot of thanks to the interns, but this is one of the shows I can take credit for. I produce, stack the show, and co-anchor, as well as make sure the interns follow through with their assignments, the reporters. It's great. We're live every week on Monday, and we are just giving the news to the public.
That sounds great. And since you do broadcast every week, what are some of the hard parts about doing this?
Well, it's live. Teleprompters break. Things go wrong. You have to be quick on your feet and say, well, sorry, we had that technical difficulty. So having someone talk in your ear while trying to give a report and things go wrong, that's one of the difficult parts, but that's why I love it.
It's true. And just a quick closer, would you like to thank anybody?
Once again, our reporters, they do a lot of hard work in the field to bring the information to the community.
That sounds great. Give her a hand. Up next, we have Best Original Short Film. And the professional subcategory goes to Stowaway from Edward Senyik, Martha Navarro, Carl Stoffhorst, and CPHS 6 staff, CPHS 6 in Port Huron, Michigan. And for the student subcategory, we have Fish. That's by Austin Patry, and that's PMN, Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Has trouble. Move. You guys come with me. We'll see if our tipsy friend gave us accurate information.
Wait a minute. Tipsy friend. Wasn't that the guy that thought you were the train conductor?
Is that where we got the tip? From the drunk I picked up? We could just be waiting.
And now for Stowaway. What's the what's the plot of Stowaway?
Stowaway is based on a story of a police captain who was also a ship captain, lake freighter captain, and it happens to be a woman from our town. It was her grandfather, and she had collected stories from his lifetime, his experiences, and had started to compile a book maybe. And she approached Edward Senyik, the station manager at CPHS 6, talked about maybe wanting to turn it into some kind of a short movie. And so she ended up having him write a script for it, and that's how it came about. And it's basically he was involved in an accident where his ship, the Willis King, struck another ship, the Superior City, in the early 1900s and sunk the other ship, and 29 sailors were lost. There was like 3 survivors, and it was, even though there was a trial over it, he wasn't found, both captains were found guilty, so to speak, but he was not punished for it. But he wrestled with that his whole life. His conscience, it bothered him, and he ended up coming back onto land and becoming a police chief of our city, of Port Huron. And it's kind of about him wrestling with that the death of those 29 sailors.
I see. So tragedy does turn into a great original short film.
Sure, yeah.
And for Fish, what is the plot of Fish?
Fish. If you have not seen Fish, you need to watch Fish. Austin couldn't be here, so I am representing him. But Austin was my student last year for the EFE program here at Public Media Network. And the second week of class, the first week they did all their paperwork and they filled out, they learned how to use the cameras and the editing software. And their very first project was to make a 2-minute video about anything they wanted to. I don't care what it was. And he comes back the next week with video of a fish tank. And I'm like, really? If you haven't seen it, it's hilarious. He's already won lots of awards through other competitions. And he enlists his friends and family in almost every production that he does. He's got a great support group with his family. And they did the voices of the fish. And basically they're just screaming because there's the fish tank, and then another shot is a tank of 2 piranhas just kind of licking their chops. And one of them gets scooped up in a net and they drag it over, and the goldfishes are like, no. But it's, you know, that's how many fish are in there. That's how many different voices that he went and recorded using different pitches of their voice and tones to make it sound like a crowd. It was a brilliant piece. It was a piece just to learn how to push record on the camera and how to edit sequence together. And it's just blown up into something huge for him. And we're really proud of him here at Public Media Network. And I know that the KRISA program and the EFE program is very excited for the success that he's encountered with just this simple project.
That sounds great. And would either of you two have anybody to thank for this?
I guess we could thank the superintendent of the Port Huron Area School District, Ron Wallin, who supported this project, and also Martha Navarro, who was her grandfather. It was her original stories that this was based off of. Edward Senek, who actually wrote the script and directed. Carl Staffors, he was the director of photography, and you guys for offering this award to us. This is great, and to the judges for all their hard work.
That's great. And did Austin have anybody to thank for that?
I'm sure he did. He is on vacation now, but I know that he would love to thank Public Media Network and KRISA and the EFE program. But I also think his biggest thanks would be to his friends and family, who are his production crew on everything that he's done. I mean, they seriously, you can see the same people in each one, and they play the multitude of different characters. So, yeah, thanks to his family and everybody who supports.
That's great. Give him a hand, everybody. Up next, we have the category of PEG compilation. And for that, we have the professional subcategory. Winner is Access Excellence in PEG, Access Vision, Battle Creek, Michigan. All right, so Access and Excellence, tell us a little bit about that.
It's just a compilation of some of the best programming we've had over the last year in 3 different categories for public, educational, and government access programming.
I see. What are some of your favorites of those?
Well, I really like Mike Salerno's Eddie and Decatur film that he worked so many months and years on. And I thought we had some good stuff in there. Just overall, some of the events we had, like the high school graduations, turned out really well. Stuff like that.
That's great. And when you are choosing these programs for the excellence, what are some of your standards? Which ones do you pick?
Yeah, I edited that together. So, and it's just a huge haystack, and you're trying to find the needle in that, just the best parts to put your best foot forward. And you know, we just look for good production values, good composition, good lighting, good audio, things like that, that best represent what we're about.
That's great. It truly is the excellence and access. And would you have anybody to thank for this award?
Just, you know, the staff and the volunteers at Access Vision. Our production manager, Jeff Smith, had a lot of work in that. A lot of that is his stuff that he shot. And his volunteer camera operators like Tom Morris. And then, again, some of our volunteer producers like Mike Salerno just done a great job to really make us look good.
That sounds excellent. Give it up. All right, everybody, I would just like to take a minute to give you all a little bit of a taste of what it's like to be as classy as I am. And now it doesn't just happen overnight. This is well put together. This isn't, I don't just roll over in my bed, just come out in a two-piece suit, and this didn't sprout overnight. And this certainly didn't happen over time. But I would like to give you guys my little secret. I do have my product right here. It's Riley's Rubber Cement. What you do is just take a handful of that, rub it up in your hair, just like so, and then you have to move really fast, or else this happens, and then sometimes you have to either let it go or sweat it out, or sometimes you have to get a crowbar, but I don't have that, so maybe, and then it hurts on the impact right there. So I definitely recommend that for your hair needs. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing to have. Well, let's see. Well, I guess next. Moving on, of course. Moving on to the next bit. The next award goes to Best Public Service Announcement, Best PSA. And for that, we have the subcategory of Professional goes to Kettering Has Energy. And for that, we have Carl Suchomel, Claudine Heiser, Bill Charhart, Miami Valley Community Council in Centerville, Ohio. And for the non-professional category, we have Howl at the Moon promo, and that's Home TV in Okemos, Michigan. And for the student, we have Alliance High School promo 2013, Alliance High School Broadcast Arts 1 and 2, Alliance, Ohio. So you're for Howl at the Moon. All right. For a Howl at the Moon promo, tell us a little bit about that and the announcement you were trying to make with that.
Well, actually, the promo was made by Faith Paranoun. She's an intern at Home TV right now, and it's cute. Howl at the Moon it's at Harris Nature Center in the township, and you bring your dog out and you go on walks at night with the park naturalists. But instead of using dogs, she used people. And so there's 3 people in it, and 2 of them are kind of going berserk, like, howling at the moon. And eventually they take them out, and the end is like, leashes are mandatory or something like that. But they're people, so it's funny. You'd have to watch it. Go to hometv.net. Yeah, it happens a couple times a year, so. That
sounds pretty great, yeah. It's a funny message. Funny guys for a funny message. And for the Alliance High School promo 2013, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's something that we do every couple of years just to self-promote our high school and all the programs. We've had a lot of economic turns in our city, and 85% of our kids are on free or reduced lunch. So, but our high school is a real bright spot in our community, so we like to highlight all the programs that they have there. And our principal is the voiceover on it, and he was a big help in this as well.
That sounds great. And did either of you have any troubles broadcasting or producing the PSAs?
Like I said, I didn't do it. I have done PSAs before. That's what I started out at home TV doing. So I know that the process is you make your PSA, and then you have one of the higher-ups, our video programmer, look at it, and then he says, you need to fix this, 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 and this. You basically reshoot the promo, and then you've got your finished thing. So I'm sure, I know it went something like that, so it's interesting.
Any speed bumps for the high school promo?
We just had to go through a lot of archived material to come up with video clips that matched all the things that we talked about, you know, past musical programs, sporting events, and all that. It was a lot of work, worthwhile.
That's great. And who would you like to thank for the who represented the Howl at the Moon promo?
Faith Perinaud. She's an intern at Home TV, and she's continuing to do excellent promos for us. So.
That's excellent. And any shout outs for you?
Yeah, our principal, who, again, I said did the voiceover, but also he's very supportive of our program. And he, when the kids ask him to be in videos, he never turns them down. He's been Michael Jackson. He's been in the Harlem Shake. He'll do anything. He's a ham, so we're glad to have him.
That's excellent. It's nice to have those great figures. Yeah. Thank you very much. Up next, we have the award for Best in Performing Arts. And for the professional subcategory, we have 2012 Lotus World Music Festival. That's for Karen Casey and John Doyle with the Valley Brothers, Community Access Television Services in Bloomington, Indiana. And for the non-professional category, we have Guitar Fest 2012, and that's McCutcheon LaRue. It's Miami Valley Community Council in Centerville, Ohio.
Father, he looks around the cabin, sees that he is all alone. Surely his poor heart is breaking his soul.
All right, folks, we got another word from one of our sponsors.
I'm a representative of the Alliance for Community Media, and I just wanted to thank everyone for coming out and submitting your programs for this festival. The Alliance for Community Media is a really great organization that aims to empower and improve all of the organizations and individuals that are members of the group. We can come to events like today, which is the Philo Festival of Media Arts, where we can recognize the excellence that is within our group and the people that we work with and interact with on a regular basis at our access centers. We can also attend events like the next conference, which will be in Dayton, Ohio in May of 2014, where we have educational and informational sessions where people who have expertise and skills can share with one another, and it's a good trading organization where people who know a little bit more about certain bits of technicalities or storytelling can share with other folks who are new and learning. And it's just a great organization where everybody shares information and gets a chance to come and interact with one another, sometimes commiserate about some of the drama that we deal with at our work and technical frustrations. And it's just an amazing organization, and I want to encourage everyone who is here tonight to check out joining the organization. There's a lot of benefits to it. You get notifications about events like this. You get cheaper membership or cheaper attendance rates at events like the Philo Festival today and like the next conference that's coming up. And the Alliance is just really a great organization for everybody to get involved in and participate in some of our events. And it's much more powerful when we have folks like all of you guys to come and help support our organization, and the organization can help support you at your day-to-day activities and lives in community media and public access. Okay.
Great, thank you very much. Up next, we have the award for Best in Political Awareness. For the professional subcategory, we have A State of Inequity in Ohio. And that's for Maureen Russell Hodgson, Carol Suchomel, Miami Valley Communications Council in Centerville, Ohio. And for the non-professional subcategory, we have Voice of the Voter. And that's for armed educators, pass or fail. And that is Roger Polk, WCTV in Wadsworth, Ohio.
You can certainly argue about the size and scope and scale of that, but by any measure, it's in the multiple millions of dollars. And the question is there any system or law that can justify?
And for the next category, we have Best Promo, and that is 3 minutes or less. And the winners for that are, for the professional subcategory, Chip Seal, and that's Westchester Township Integrated Multimedia and Marketing, and that is in Westchester, Ohio. And for the non-professional, we have Meridian Ice Fishing Derby Promo, Home TV in Okemos, Michigan. And for the student subcategory, we have Disability Awareness Month, and that is Bachelor Middle School BTV, Amara Neely, Kendall Scholes, and that is for Community Access Television Services in Bloomington, Indiana.
Chip seal as a proven maintenance option for low traffic roadways. Your street has been selected for chip seal.
And for Meridian Ice Fishing Derby promo, what was that promo all about?
Every year, Meridian Township has, we do have, an ice fishing derby in our historic village. There's a pond, and we have it every year. And Aaron Miner actually made this with stop animation and motion. So we try to use different techniques too. The one I previously talked about was just live action, and this was more graphics and stuff like that. So, yeah.
What has the reception been like for the ice fishing promo?
Well, for the derby, it's been pretty good. It's a popular event, and it's a unique event. For the promo, it was a success, because, in my mind, it was a success because the event was a success, so, yeah.
There you go. It's a mark of a great promo. Do you have anybody you'd like to thank?
Erin Miner made it, and she created it from the bottom up, and so it's really her congratulations.
Give her a hand. Up next, we have the award for Best Interview Talk Show. And with that, we have a tie for Best Professional Subcategory. And that goes to the art scene with Karen Kelsey in the Omni Center in Carmel, Indiana. Okay, sorry, a little bit of a bump right there. Back on track. For the next award, it's the award for Best Promo, and that is 3 minutes and 1 second and above. And for that, for the professional subcategory, we have a tie, and that is for 2013 Children's Summer Reading Program, and that's Community Access Television Services, Martin O'Neill and Zach Canale. And for the other tie, we have, for professional, we have Carmel Access Bikeway, featuring Dave Littlejohn, and that is for the Omni Center in Carmel, Indiana. And for the non-professional winner, we have PMN promo for Dan Baker in PMN in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And for the student winner, we have State of the MCCSC 2012 Bachelor Middle School BTV, Molly Vencel and Tanner Gilpin. And that's Community Access Television Services in Bloomington, Indiana.
Pedestrian infrastructure. In 2006, the League of American Bicyclists designated the City of Carmel as a bronze-level bicycle-friendly community. Since then, we've tried to...
All right, so tell us a little bit about the PMN promo you did.
It was the first thing that I'd ever produced, and I did it with the help of my wonderful girlfriend, who is my main character, and our friend Ross, who let me put a TV on his head for a whole day. And I'd always wanted to make something a little bit creepy, and that's kind of what I tried to do.
There you go. And obviously you said you put a TV on someone's head. Would that be the hardest part of the production or anything else?
Yeah, creating the TV as a helmet and then keying out the screen in post was definitely the most difficult part.
That's pretty cool. And how long did it take you to film the promo?
It took us a whole day to film and then 2 or 3 days to edit.
Sounds great. And one more thing, how did you come up with this idea?
I saw another promo that somebody else did for PMN, and they used just kind of like monster masks, and they were chased by the idea of subpar television, and I just wanted to take it another step.
Sounds great. And anyone else you would like to thank?
Just Brian Gonda for giving me the opportunity.
Sounds great. Let's give him a hand. Up next, we have the category of Best Religious Programming. And for the professional subcategory, we have A3 Center of Light. And that is CTN Public and Educational Staff, CTN in Ann Arbor, Michigan. All right, so tell us a little bit about Center of Light.
Well, actually, I need to talk about Access Ann Arbor. That's the program that this show was on. And Access Ann Arbor is a show that's been happening for almost 30 years now with CTN of Ann Arbor. And all the content is community driven. It's nonprofits or local residents come to us saying they have an opinion or an event they want to promote, and then they get on the show. I have to thank all of our staff, part-timers, full-timers, and volunteers. This show is really made possible by the volunteers. They will come in and get trained on the gear and then learn how to direct if that's something they're interested in. And this was actually directed by staff member Mike Koski, so I have to thank him as well.
That sounds wonderful. Access Ann Arbor, everybody. And now we have the award for Best Sports Coverage. And for the professional subcategory, we have 2012 Tri-Track Meet at Dow High School. And that's MCTV, Volunteers and Staff, and MCTV Network in Midland, Michigan. And for the non-professional category, we have Coleraine versus Elder OHSAA Tournament Football. And that is Waycross Volunteers and Waycross Community Media in Forest Park, Ohio. So tell us a little bit about filming the track meet and how different it is than more scripted programs.
Well, for our crew that did the track meet, it's like a 3-ring circus, because it's not like football where it's all happening in a specific rectangle. The track meet's going around the track. It's often where shot put's going on and long jumps, so a lot of juggling to get all that done by our crew.
What would you say of all the events would be the most challenging to film, and how did you overcome that?
Well, what our producer Matt Richardson chose to do with some of the field events is shoot those, then edit them down to squash the time frame, and then voice those over. But we wanted to make sure those kids got credit too, and not just the kids who were performing in front of the grandstand and the running races.
And how long did the track meet take place, and how long was the production schedule?
Well, they gathered, I think, to set up early in the afternoon, and the event starts happening after school and it goes till sundown. And then there were a couple days of post-production to condense it all down into a reasonable time frame.
That sounds excellent. And would you like to thank anybody for this?
Well, Matt Richardson on our staff, our production director who led our effort, along with Billy Bethune, our production assistant, and our intern at the time, Marquita Beatty. And then a big thank you to all the volunteers who gave their time that day to run cameras in the different positions.
Sounds great. Give it up. Up next, we have the award for Best Seniors Production. And for the subcategory of professional, we have Senior Moments, and that was June 2013. And for that, we have Tim Negay, Connie Kraft, Dean Cole, Jim, Robert, and CTN in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And for the non-professional, we have Senior Living number 50, and that's Home TV in Okemos, Michigan.
And now.
So tell us a little bit about Senior Moments, the program.
Senior Moments is a long-time CTN series on our government channel, and I did not work on this. I'm here accepting this on behalf of Tim, one of the producers at CTN, and it's a beloved show, built-in audience, 15 or so years, done monthly, and it's very well respected, and I want to thank him and his team for working on it.
That sounds wonderful. And for Senior Living number 50, that's a long-running series as well.
Yes, yes. When I was an intern, I started at episode 2, so I was the host and producer of that show. But it's great to see it continue. We have a very active senior center in the township, so we cover several of their events and do in-studio interviews. This episode in particular was hosted by an intern, Paige Kim, and directed and post-produced by an intern, Chloe Hill. And they're both, they've left us, but they're on to great things now.
That's great. And it's obvious to be said that you can learn a lot from seniors. What were some of the lessons learned on these programs?
Well, I think we both can say they've both been in production for quite a few years, but either way, ours is done monthly, so, and every month there's a new interest, believe it or not, and that the seniors love, and they're always tuning in. One of our highest watched shows that we know, and it's just month after month, and that's why it's been around for as long as it is, just well produced.
And ours is also a monthly show, and you're right, it's amazing how many different topics and activities you can cover for a senior program. Like, for example, they do the computer club now, and they're on social media now. It's really interesting to see that growth there as well.
It's great to see seniors represented in several different ways.
Yep.
And anybody to be thanked for these?
Tim, Connie, Dean, Jim, and CTN, all of them who are on the plaque.
Okay. And then once again, Chloe Hill, Paige Kim, the reporters who did the stories, and the Senior Center for letting us come to their activities.
That sounds wonderful. Everybody give it up.
Thank you. Thank you.
The next category is Sports Entertainment Talk. And for the professional subcategory, we have Lakota Sports Watch number 9. That's Mike Lyons and Bill Bretz in Westchester Community Television in Westchester, Ohio. And for the non-professional category, we have Between Teromonius, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, episode Torminus, episode 77, and that is with Ian Witherspoon on TV, Lake Orion, Michigan. And for the student K-12 category, we have Coaches Chat with Nicholas Skidmore, Carnation Cable, Channel 11 in Alliance, Ohio. Wonderful.
Denver seems to be a really good basketball team, really good program all around, swimming and...
Well, I personally, I don't like it because they play at altitude.
Right.
And that's just a bad deal when you when you never play at altitude and then you have to play.
For Between Torminus, episode 77, can you tell us a little bit about that production?
Well, to begin with, it's a direct result of the board taking direction and building a new center a couple of years ago, and then us now being able to attract the kind of programming that we like to have. And this one, this is our area. Lake Orion is a big sports area. We have big Division I state championships in football and baseball, and the Pistons are right down the road. So these two guys, the Tormina brothers and Ian Witherspoon, conjured up this program where you would go on to high school sports every week and then morph into the Pistons, the Tigers, the Lions, Michigan State, Western Michigan, Kalamazoo, and so on and so forth. And so they did. But it's a little bit different than the average sports show because this is very spirited, where these folks end up forecasting scores and wins and stuff. And when they lose, they sometimes rant and rave. But it's actually one of the top 5 rated programs that we got. And they've celebrated now their 2 years of consecutive programs every week. So it's quite a deal.
That sounds wonderful. And what are some of the most popular sports that are covered on the program?
Well, like I say, we have the Division I football champs in Michigan 2 years ago, and Lake Orion football, they usually have like 1 loss or so, and so we'll have the coaches. Well, not only that, but girls sports too. The volleyball team is really good, so we'll have coaches, we'll have players come in. We've had the sports director from Fox TV in Detroit come in, our supervisor. You know, and it's just continuing to build. I'm going to say we don't have the Pistons basketball team in yet, but we're always optimistic. I guess the Pistons team does practice in Lake Orion gym a lot of times during the week, so it's quite a deal, and it's a lot of fun. And in fact, if any of you folks would like to stop by and see our new studio, you're welcome to. We're in a 27,000 square foot building, and it's a center, a community center. It's got several studios in it. There's a lot of senior activities we can do, yoga, dance, crafts, and we can all do them live. So it's quite a deal, and we're very happy with it.
That's great. And sorry we didn't get much word in from you, but would you like to thank anybody for your production?
For Coaches Chat, well, Nick Skidmore kind of started this show last year, and we continue it this year. We talk with the football coach, and then he picks a player of the week for basketball coach, and he picks a player or 2 of the week. And you know, I don't know that much about sports, so I just kind of let him go with it. And it's been a popular program too.
That's great. And anybody to thank for Between Torminas?
Ian. Well, actually, we have. Ian to thank, but we have our new executive director, Ian Locke, also, and 2 Joes who act as a producer, director, technical director, whatever.
That sounds great. Everybody, a round of applause. Now for the category of Best Website Professional is www.datv.org, and that is Dan Suffoletto in DATV in Dayton, Ohio.
Let's get one.
For the next category, we have Excellence in Cinematography. And we have Village Players 90th, and that is Steve Rhoda, Matt Winnie, and Sally Savoy in Bloomfield Community Television, Michigan. And our second winner is Wolfsbane, Ryan Roberts, Catrice McElroy, Riley Kimball, and Adam Davis, Carnation Cable Channel 11, Ohio.
You had to have 3 letters of recommendation from present members. And so, as I say, since my in-laws have a lot of friends there, that wasn't a problem.
And for Wolfsbane, winning Best Cinematography, what would you say sets it apart from all the other finalists?
Well, I'm sorry I didn't see the other finalists, but I would just say that it was the first time we ever tried a silent film, and the kids had to just choose music and then make a silent film, and it was just a fun type of venue to produce, and we didn't have to worry about audio for once.
Yeah, that's one less thing to worry about. But what was a speed bump you guys had to work with?
Just some butting heads between the staff, the kids that worked on it together, but they worked it out, and you know, we had to bring in some parents and stuff, but we got through it. And they were really happy when they won at the end at this other competition. So
that's excellent, yeah. And being the piece it was, how long did it take to produce?
Probably it was a 5-minute, no, 3.5 minutes. Took about 5 weeks, I think.
5 weeks. The effort was definitely shown. It was wonderful, wonderful. And would you like to thank anybody for these for Wolfsbane?
I guess I would like to thank the Alliance for Community Media and Philo Farnsworth Awards. I mean, it's always, we do a lot of projects with the high school kids, but it's always fun to have competitions and let them win prizes for their work rather than just grades. So that's nice.
Wolfsbane, everybody. Up next, we have the award for excellence in editing. We got 4 winners tonight. We have Interview, number 43, Home TV in Michigan. Around Town, Jim McElroy Heart Transplant, the Mentor Channel in Ohio. Fetty's Festifools and Fool's Moon, Ann Arbor, Michigan. April 2013, Dave Chappell, CTN, Ann Arbor, Michigan. And The Holidays in Westchester, 2012. Westchester Township Integrated Multimedia and Marketing, Westchester, Ohio.
My favorite animal is dolphins, and I love my family, and I have a sister, a mom, and a dad, and a grandma and grandpa. And my dad is from Greece, my mom is from Bethlehem.
Tell us a little bit about Festifools and how editing worked towards it.
Actually, it was really, really creative what Dave did, because he is a volunteer producer here in Ann Arbor. So he really went at it. Every year, he's been doing this for multiple years now, and we've seen the improvement just up, up, up. And clearly, it shows. He won this year, so I know he's going to be very humbled by this and very excited at the same time. So we're very proud of him.
That sounds excellent. Did Dave have anybody he would like to thank for Festifools?
He always thanks our staff, the public and educational staff, Alicia, Mike, always. He's so gracious to us, and yeah, we see him on a daily basis, so yeah.
That sounds wonderful.
Yep.
Everybody give it up. Up next, we have the award for excellence in directing. And we have 4 winners for that category. We have The Buzz, WLND, and that's Dave Monak and Craig Welkenbach in Westland, Michigan. March of Dimes, Jalen Bale, Senyik, Kovac, Orel, Schuler, Shea, Staff Force, Wendt, Yelding, CPHS, Port Huron, Michigan. And special feature number 236, Life as a Zebra, Home TV, Okemos, Michigan. And 2012 Tri-Track Meet at Dow High School, MCTV, Volunteers and Staff, MCTV Networks in Midland, Michigan.
Just supporting my staff.
All right, tell us a little bit about both of your productions.
Ladies first.
Are you sure?
Ladies first.
Yes, please.
Seniors first?
Seniors first? Now let's go.
I don't want anyone to hear that.
What?
Well,
Go ahead.
okay, all right. Well, again, you know, Max and Phil Knapp, they created this piece, and you know that they did a great job directing the flow of the piece and how the story was told. So I think that, you know, I can't read the judges' minds, but I'm thinking that that's why they chose this piece for best directing, just because of the way that they told the story and intertwined what was happening with her past and where she is at today, and just all of the elements that they put together and how they directed it. So
that sounds fantastic. And tell us a little bit about the directing of the Tri-Track Meet.
Track meet, a lot of credit to Matt Richardson and Billy Bethune again from our staff. They put a lot of time and effort into it. Matt ran track in high school, so that's partly the reason why he's passionate about it. And I should mention that Matt's an alum here of PMN TV in Kalamazoo. He worked here before he came up to our operation in Midland. And again, thanks as always to our volunteers.
That sounds fantastic. Any other final words?
No.
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 Nope. All right. Give them a hand. And now the award for excellence in sound design. And that award goes to 2012 Lotus World Music Festival. All right, folks, so we got one more word from our sponsor.
I just wanted to once again touch base in regard to as far as the Excellence Awards are in their third year here as part of the Philo competition, and we want to again just showcase the great talents that we have at all of our different access centers. And we've seen a lot of award-winning programming tonight, but once again, as far as was juried, and we had everybody that judged had an opportunity to nominate some entries into these Excellence Awards. So that was the process as far as our panel of judges. We had 5 different judges judging the Excellence Awards versus the 3 different judges that did the normal judging. And of course, I want to thank all of our judging facilities to help out there from that aspect of things. But like I said, as far as trying to add another level, in a sense, as far as to give the recognition to these great programs.
Sounds excellent. Everybody give it up. And now we have the award for Best Series Program. We have 2 winners. We have The Buzz, WLND, and that's Dave Monak and Craig Welkenbach in Westland, Michigan, and Soup and Company, Steve Rhoda, director, and John Krapolek, and that's Bloomfield Community Television in Bloomfield, Michigan. And now we have the winner for Best of Show. And that award goes to Driver Fatigue. And that's Jan Mitchell and Carl Suchamel in Miami Valley Cable Council in Ohio.
Distract you while driving, or driving when you're too tired to stay alert on the road, jeopardizes your life and the lives of others.
No matter what city or agency you work for.
All right, and we have the final award for the evening. And this award is the George C. Stoney Community Activism Award, which is a very important award. And that award goes to March of Dimes, Jail and Bail, with Senyik, Kovac, Orel, Schuler, Shea, Staff Force, Went, Yelding, that's CPHS in Port Huron, Michigan. Give it up.
Community, but around the world. Port Huron is a March of Dimes town. It really is. And this is an event that was born right here in Port Huron, Jail and Bail. It's been duplicated in a lot of different cities.
I just want to say that as far as we have 2 different people that we're recognizing with this award. Obviously, George Stoney, who is, in a sense, the grandfather of Access, who passed away this past year. If you've had a chance to meet George, you are blessed. One of the things that he would love people to do is be involved and direct in the show, direct the show from the same room that you're recording in. So in essence, have the director sitting over in the corner there and stuff like that. And this Jail and Bail so much embodies that. The Jail and Bail Telethon was a 7-hour production. And obviously it's for a good cause. So it really is fitting that it is a winner here for the George C. Stoney Award.
Sounds great. Everybody give it up. One last round of applause.
Oh, what a night. It's
been a long, long week and a long day. That wraps up the 2013 Central States Alliance for Community Media Philo T. Farnsworth Video Festival. I want to thank all of the people that attended today's workshops and tonight's ceremony. Congratulate all of the winners and finalists. I want to say, having been in this business for over 25 years, I truly, truly love being your colleague. It's been great for the last week in terms of working with the PMN staff. We ran our 2880 Video Festival last weekend, had the screening at the State Theater last night, and then tried to pull off this event today. So to the PMN staff and board of directors, some of you are here tonight, thank you for your support and your work. You're really special people, and it's a privilege to work with you. So thank all of you. Now, with a deep breath and sigh of relief, I can say we are about to close this 2013 event. Those of you who are visiting us, enjoy downtown. Downstairs on the ground floor, there is a restaurant pub, the Tap House. Avail yourselves. Downtown Kalamazoo has many things that you can treat yourselves to tonight. For the PMN staff and volunteers, I'm afraid we have a little more work to do. But for the rest of you, please enjoy your evening. Be safe. Can't wait till Philo's 2014. Thank you.